Hello, this is my first Rise Leo Times listener. This is about you guys meeting the turtles, and yeah, let's get on. You were just walking home from your late night job. You like the night jobs because they were genuinely calmer, and there isn't a lot of people, and it isn't that noisy when you're walking there and back from your job when it's finished. It was just a normal day for you, to be fair. Your boss was a little mean, though. He told you to put in an extra shift for your coworker, so right now it was 12 in the night. You were walking home when you hear a noise from the rooftop. You went to investigate by climbing a wall, because there was a ladder on the side of it. You found there was a group of 4 figures. You couldn't really see them since it was dark, but you could hear them. They were talking, but in hushed tones. It looked like they were spying on someone, but you weren't sure who. You decided to follow them, and you decided that once that you know who they are, you would probably leave, unless they're bad guys. So you followed them around for around 20 minutes. You were also jumping from the roof and nearly slipping. Halfway through, it started raining. Not a big deal since you had a coat. The 4 figures doesn't seem to mind either, still keeping on walking and scanning the city roads. You were used to rains like this, just mild. You liked it, actually. Then you slipped. There was a puddle between one of the roofs. You didn't see it, of course, because you were too busy figured out with your you were too busy spying on those 4 figures, and you slipped, nearly falling down into an alleyway, and you leaned and oof. So now you were hanging by one of the roof ledges, and you accidentally alerted those 4 figures. So they turned, and they were shocked. They were like, "You have been following us this entire time?" So you can finally see them now, and you can tell that they were mutants. Turtle mutants. They had green skin and they look different from each other, to be fair, but they were looking at each other like brothers. The biggest one, Raphael, he was trying to calm the others down. And Mikey, Donnie, and Leo were freaking out, like full on panicking. And Raph was just like, okay, let's see if I can do his voice correctly. Okay, guys, calm down. Calm down. We can explain this. We can explain this. But, like, Mikey was not listening. He was just, like, running. And Donnie was also freaking out. But he was not running around. He was just, like, fidgeting, looking away, and burying his face into his hands. And Leo was like Mikey. He was like running around going crazy. So after you guys met, you learned their names, and you promised that you would keep their meeting a secret, since you lived alone and you don't really have anyone to go to. A few days after you guys meet, the turtles took you to their lair where you met Splinter, April, and Casey. And you knew April because she was one of your classmates at your school. were surprised to see that April was the turtle's friends, but you didn't complain that much because, hey, at least you knew them now. You liked having them around, and you really liked the blue-clad turtle, Leo. You didn't tell April or anyone though, because you were scared that they were just going to laugh at you and other shit, like telling everyone about your crush. So a few months go by. You were hanging out in the lair with April and Casey. Raph was getting some work done along with Donnie, so he was just helping Donnie move some stuff in his lab. Mikey was getting some pizza, and Leo was in the dojo. And Splinter was in his usual spot in front of the TV. So you decided it's you and Leo's alone time if you head to the dojo. And you did go to the dojo. You saw Leo just training and playing with his portals. And when he saw you, he was like, "Oh, hey listener, what's going on?" So, and you were like, "Hey Leo, we need to talk." And, ooh boy, he was scared. He was scared that he'd done something wrong because he also liked you, for God's sake. And he was afraid that you were going to yell at him, because last patrol he did something wrong, in a sense, like, he accidentally sort of blew his cover, but, like, not a lot of people saw, and Raph was really angry at him, so was Donnie. Donnie was also angry at him, and Mikey wasn't that angry at him. So you took him into the sort of room you borrowed for the time being, and you walked inside, and you just sort of locked the door, and you turned to Leo, and he was just looking at you because he was absolutely flabbergasted, and he didn't know what he did, so he was just like, so why have you brought me here? And you sat down across from him on your bed, and you just took a deep breath, and you just said, "I love you." And he was stunned. Like, he liked you for some time now, but he didn't know that you had the same feelings for him, because you just seemed to, ignore him. You seemed to talk more with Raph, and with, Mikey, and with Donnie, April, and Casey. So, he was afraid that you didn't like him back, but now that you said it, he was happy. Happy boy. He was a happy boy. So, he was just looking at you, and he just hugs you, sudden hug. And he was like, "Sugar cakes, I love you as well." And you just sort of give him a forehead smooch. And you guys cuddled for the rest of the day. And you told everyone, basically everyone, that you guys were a couple now, so yay! So yeah, you and Leo are a couple now. Sorry if I stutter a lot. I do stutter a lot. I have a script, but I lost it halfway through, so it was like, ah. So, yay! You and Leo are a couple now. This is my first listener video, so sorry if it sucks, but hope you enjoy. I'm probably going to post another one with Donnie because Donnie is my favorite character. But I would date Leo. I would date Leo, actually. Sorry if I did not do the voices correctly, but who cares? Okay, that's it. Goodbye.